Identifying concerns of abuse is a mix of vigilance, open communication, and awareness as a parent. Abuse can happen, whether emotional abuse, it could be physical abuse, it can even be sexual, it can be neglect. It is not in all cases that the child may be taken away, because you might be lucky that if you're in the Western world and your child is not taken from you. But the purpose of being a vigilant parent is to help that child, so that all your effort do not end up bringing up a child that you are not proud of. And that is why I'm going to be sharing with you some tips that you need to understand. Whether a physical abuse is going on with your child under your watch, or there is a sexual abuse that is going on under your watch, or there is even an abuse that is emotional that you don't even know anything about. There are signs, because this does not just happen in isolation. They happen and they produce signs. And until you are watchful, you are smart enough to be able to identify those signs, that abuse can continue forever. But if you understand those signs, because the signs will always be there. The children have been abused in the past. Our children and the parents are not observant enough. If you ask them eventually, cares for them, that did you see all of these signs at this point? They say, yes, I saw them, but I never knew they were anything. I was thinking they were normal. Those signs will always be there. Until you are able to take hold of those signs and begin to work on them, it becomes a lot difficult to break the chain, and that child can be under the influence of that abuse for a longer time. And before you realize it, becomes very difficult to save them. We are going to be talking about that. If you are patient enough to wait through, this video is not going to be too long. We're going to be very short. If you are patient enough to wait through to the end, you are going to look at ways of identifying them and what those signs are, so that you can help your child, and then you can come up as a good parent. We want to welcome you if you're a returning subscriber to this platform. You've been a part of us and you've helped a lot. You've been sharing our videos. Share our videos to your family, to your friends, to your group, or whoever you think is going to be of help to. We are here to help you through the journey of parenting. And then if you are coming across our video for the very first time, I want to congratulate you, because I know it's a good thing happening to you. It may be of help to you. You might not be the one that needs it at the moment. Maybe because you're not married. Maybe because you don't have any child under your watch anymore. You can share with friends. You can share with neighbors. You can share with church members, your mosque member, whoever you want to share it with, so that they can also benefit from it. Back to the issue. There are different kinds of abuse. Abuse can come in form of physical abuse. Abuse can come in form of mental abuse. But if those abuses are not identified quickly, it becomes a problem for you. About the physical abuse. A child is being physically abused. What are those signs you are going to? That's the commonest one that people can easily identify. You are seeing all forms of bruises in their body. You are seeing all kinds of things. There are pains all over the body. They come in, they react in a way that you see that some particular area, particularly if it's female, and then you see some kind of pieces all over their body that you probably were not seeing, and you don't even know how those that came on their body. Those are signs for you. Don't just overlook them, and you ask them. The quickest way to dispel you, or to take you further asking question by those children, is to tell you that, mommy, I'm fine, nothing happens. But as a smart woman, a smart father, a smart mother that understand what it means, because you are watching over those children, you don't just keep quiet about it. You need to draw to the point where you are concluded that this is actually what led to the kind of bruises I'm seeing in the life of my child. That is what makes you a smart, watchful parent. Physical abuse can happen in many places. It could be maybe they beat them, they hit them. It may not be you, but if it is you, of course, the people that are going to be watching out for all of these signs are going to be the school, the GP, and then they call the CPS, the Child Protection Service, to come and take your child. That's the story for another day, and the child is taken away from you. But I'm talking about the one that is in your house. What about the sexual abuse? A lot can happen. The first thing we are going to see is the behavioral signs. The behavioral signs are very key. A lot of parents are very, very ignorant about this. For instance, your child that have been very engaging in the house before suddenly begin to withdraw. They withdraw from engagement. They no longer talk to anybody at home, particularly when they return from school, or when they have reason to come together as a family. They cannot play, they play with their siblings and all that. All of those suddenly cease. And you are concluding that perhaps maybe something has happened. The child wants to be alone now because the child is growing. Things are changing for them. They are forming a new kind of life now. That may not be true. It is possible that that child is going through some kind of abuse, and because of the fear of sharing it with anybody, because she doesn't want to, maybe the person who is even an abuser has already threatened the child that if you say it to anybody, you're going to be quiet, they're going to unlife you, a lot of things will happen, and because of the fear of not being punished for doing that, the child decides to withdraw. But the child on the inside battles with so much pain that doesn't even know what to do. So when a child withdraws from people, withdraws from engaging in the family, withdraws from being the normal self that you know, it could be a sign that an abuse is going on. Another thing is when there is fear of a particular visitor. A particular individual is coming to your house very often, or you visit there, and then each time the visitor comes in, the child withdraws. You begin to ask yourself a question: what is happening? In the past, you are the one that will instruct the children to go away because you have visitor. You want to have some discussion or some time with them, and you ask them to stay in there. But this time around, the moment the visitor visits your house, pump into the house, the child withdraws. He doesn't want to have anything to do with anybody. The child doesn't want to come out again because the visitor is there. It's a sign for you. It's possible that is the abuser there. He doesn't want to have one-on-one eye contact with the abuser. You must ask yourself question: what is happening? Maybe when the visitor visits in the past, when you want to see the visitor off to the car or to whichever way you want to see them off, the children go with you because of the kind of bonding in the family. This time around, you ask your child, follow me, let's see this visitor off, and the child says, no, I'm not going, mommy, I'm not going, daddy. What's the problem? Each time this becomes a repeated issue, and you don't see your child with the person confronting each other, talking to each other in a very unprofessional way. I call it unprofessional way now, in a rude form, but you are not asking questions. A child withdrawing because that person is coming in becomes a sign for you. You need to watch out. Something is going on there. Some other time, it could be the fear of going to school. It's a sign. When a child refuses to go to school, it may not be because the child hates school. Something is going on. You need to find out the reason why that child is. When it is time to go to school, the child withdraws and says, I don't want to go to that school again. Mommy, change my school, or daddy, change my school. When they begin to ask of changing school, something is going on there. It could be an abuse going on. Maybe they are bullying the child. Maybe somebody else is doing something to the child that is making the child uncomfortable and it's already affecting them. You need to watch out quickly and you follow through to know that something is going on there. Another sign again that you need to watch, particularly this one is for the gay child. When your child, a gay child, begin to say some things that are inappropriate for their age, you know something is going on. It could be that that child is being groomed online, or they are being exposed to some sexual materials. That is an abuse as well. The child is now telling you things that is inappropriate, things that are not appropriate for her age. It's mentioning things, it's telling you something. When you say something and maybe by mistake or by chance, you are having conversation with the dad or with an adult, and the child gets to know. I say, mommy, I know that's correct. Daddy, I know that's correct. And that particular conversation is inappropriate for their age. You know something is going on. You need to pull that child closer and tell that child, find out from that child where that child gets that thing from. It is a sign that an abuse is going on somewhere. An abuse might not even be in your house. It's possible it's happening in your house. It might be online. It might not be the one that the child goes because you can say, I know why the child can be abused because the child goes to school by 3, by the one that goes to school to pick them back home. They come, they don't go anywhere, you don't mingle with anybody and all of that. Abuse can still take place. Do you give them access to the internet? Do they have access to the internet on their phone or the internet at home? All of that, there could be signs. Another thing is when the child is afraid to go and sleep. Maybe it is that night when everybody is asleep and the child has access to phone that the abusers get online to abuse them. The child might not feel comfortable with it. He probably has heard a whole lot of things that this is not good. He doesn't know how to break away from it. The child doesn't even know how to break away from it. The fear of going into sleep is a problem. So it's also a sign that you need to watch out for. When there is that sign, I don't want to go in to sleep, I don't want to stay alone and all that, the fear, that kind of fear that the child is exuding any time, it's time for the child to be left alone to go in, something might be happening. You need to dig deeper to understand why it is so. Another thing that can happen again is this. It is also possible that your child is losing the kind of confidence that the child had that you know before. Abuse can make a child lose self-confidence very easily. And I said that before, if you listen to some of my video in the past, I have said that one of the major ingredients that a child needs to be able to succeed in life, because life is a battle. You're training them to be able to stand up for themselves tomorrow. If the child loses that self-confidence and begin to go around with low confidence, low self-esteem, that's going to be a problem. That esteem is a good tool for them to be able to stand up for themselves tomorrow when you're not there. If you allow a child to be going around with low self-esteem because one abuser has already abused them also, and because that abuse has been there, the self-confidence is taken away, they cannot talk about it anymore, and you watch, you don't even do anything about it, you allow the child to go with that. If that child grows with that low self-confidence, it becomes a problem for you. You need to wake up and be able to address that quickly. If the child notices that you are the careless type that don't even care about what happened to them, it is very easy, they can go into the hand of another person, and that child's life can be damaged and be destroyed forever. You need to wake up to it. A number of, like I said, I don't want this video to be too long. There are 1001 signs. These are some of the signs that I feel you can look out for. But does it stop there? It doesn't stop there. Number one, when you notice this sign, like I said in the course of the video, there are a number of things you need to do. You need to first of all have one-on-one discussion with them. And when you are discussing with them, I'm going to be talking to us in some of my video with time to come, subsequent videos. I'm going to be talking to us some of the therapeutic tools that you need to use in building relationship with children. Before you can get your child on the table to be able to discuss around their life where they will be able to open up to you and ready for you to lead them through. There have to be a positive relationship with them. And that positive relationship with them is not something you just say, I want to do it, you force them. If you force them, they will create a very big barrier in their mind that you cannot see physically. You will not get to where you need to influence their life positively. So, before you take them to that table, you need to build that relationship. Maybe in my subsequent video, I will talk about it. Now, when you build that relationship with them, you can sit one-on-one with them. When the trust is built, the child will be able to open up if you ask questions and they know that you're not judgmental. One key thing that I'm going to be talking perhaps in my next video is about those keys that you need to use in building positive relationship with children. One of the keys is empathy. A child that discovers that you're not empathic when you're talking about their case will definitely not open up to you. How do I mean by that? For instance, you're coming up now, you discover that your child has been abused. And when in the course of trying to help the child out of that abuse process, you go being judgmental all through. You are a spoiled child. I understand you are going to be this. I know you are going to be a disgrace. I've always said it, you're never a serious person in life. What you are doing to that child, you are damaging that child. You are asking that child to withdraw to themselves. And when that child withdraws to themselves, you will not know nothing about the child. It is when you begin to come away, being empathetic. I understand you are a child. This happened before. It has happened to 1,001 people out there. It was even the help of so-and-so before I became this. Because I opened up to my parents. That was why they were able to help me, and I'm here today. If you don't open up, we will not help you. It is not your fault. We know the challenge out there is too big, and every day, every now and then, you are being presented with temptation. We'll understand that. It is your own. You'll get away from it, my child. I am standing by you. I am standing with you. I am going to go with you all through the journey. Just let me know what happened. And when the child released the first bomb, and this is what has happened, you don't just go all the way. Yes, I said it. You don't just get them scared. Let them know that they have your support. The moment that attribute is identified by a child with you, that my mom will always sit down with me and they will not be judgmental, she will not condemn me, my dad will not slap me, he will not beat me, he will not do all of that to me, that child will open up. That is where the healing process starts. Number two, you need to document it. If an abuse happened that had start having some kind of effect in the life of your child, you need to report that immediately. We have a lot of abusers out there. On this platform, I promised us already, recently, I have some kind of discussion with an agency in the United Kingdom that their own job is to go out after abusers, pedophiles, and they've given me the go-ahead. They have a lot of people that they have dealt with, that they have caught destroying the life of young people online. They've profiled them. They've been sentenced already. They have their videos. They've discussed with us. We have some agreement already with them that we can bring their videos to you so that you can watch them, how they're able to sting at them, get them there and persecute them and send them to jail. In the subsequent few videos from now, we're going to be bringing them up. We're discussing with other organizations that they'll be allowing us so that we can bring them for you so that you can see that what we are saying is not just theory, these are practicals, so that you can see how the government is cracking down on them. Other agencies are working together. We are going to do our own part, what we are doing now to help, because the life of these children, whether we like it or not, they are the future of the society tomorrow. If you allow them to get destroyed by this pedophile, destroyed by these abusers out there, and we don't know what to do, and we just keep our hand wall, it means there will be no sanity tomorrow. We won't have any sound society tomorrow. There will be nobody who will take over from us tomorrow. So, and then we'll see how to push this forward, so that at the end, we'll have a society that we can be proud of. Thank you very much if you stayed up to this point. I'm sure you've learned 1 or 2 lessons from here. If you have any question and you want us to answer you, or you have a situation at hand that you don't know how to go about it, you can leave your comment on the comment section. But one thing you will do for us that I've always asked you is to make sure that you share this video and talk to your friends, talk to other groups, talk to your neighbors, talk to whoever you need to do, your family members. Let them come to be part of this, where we share tips on how to help these children. The job of helping the children or the child through their developmental stage to the point where they become adult, where they can stand and sing for themselves, is a great one, and everybody must contribute. We are doing our own, you are doing your own by sharing with us. We all have to join hands together so that we can have a same society. Thank you very much, and see you in our next video. Bye-bye for now.